The Battle of Britain was a military campaign of the Second World War in which the Royal Air Force defended the United Kingdom against large-scale attacks by the German Air Force, the Luftwaffe, from July of 1940 to May of 1941. The main objective of the German forces was to compel Britain to agree to a negotiated peace settlement. In July of 1940, the air and sea blockade began, with the Luftwaffe mainly targeting coastal shipping convoys as well as ports and shipping centers. During the battle, a large number of German and British aircraft were shot down over the English Channel. The Luftwaffe developed a unique method to pick up the pilots and crews of the aircraft that had made an emergency landing on the open sea, the Rettungsbuoy or the rescue buoy. They were constructed from October of 1940 at the suggestion of General Oberst Ernst Udet, Director of Equipment for the Luftwaffe. Because of this, an alternative name for them was the Udet buoy. The highly visible buoys were of square or hexagonal construction and had a floor space of about 4 square meters, with a 2.5 meter tall cabin rising above the float. On the upper deck of this cabin, there was an oval turret 1.8 meters high with a signal mast carrying a wireless antenna. A 100 meters red and yellow striped rope anchored the buoy at a fixed location but allowed a limited drift, thereby indicating the direction of the current to the aircraft in distress. The buoy was painted light yellow above the waterline, and red crosses against white oval backgrounds were painted on each side of the turret. The cabin, like a floating hotel, accommodated 4 persons comfortably for several days, and in an emergency, the crews of several aircraft could be taken care of. There were 2 double-deck beds and adequate cupboard space for first aid equipment, dry clothing and shoes, emergency rations, and water supply. Hot food could be prepared on an alcohol stove. Cognac to relieve chill and cigarettes to quiet the nerves were also provided. Depleted supplies were always immediately replaced upon the arrival of rescue ships or planes. A lifeboat was also available for transferring the downed aviators from the buoy to the ship. Signaling was accomplished by hoisting a black anchor ball and a yellow and red striped flag on the mast during the day. At night, red and white lights in the turret indicated that rescued men were on board. A white anchor light on the mast was visible for 1 kilometer or more. SOS signals giving the location of the buoy were automatically sent out by an emergency wireless transmitter. A large number of the Luftwaffe pilots were picked up by the Seenotdienst or Sea Rescue Service, a German military organization formed within the Luftwaffe to save downed airmen from emergency water landings. The Seenotdienst operated from 1935 to 1945 and was the first organized air-sea rescue service. The service used large flying boats like the Dornier DO-24. The aircraft of the Seenotstaffeln or Sea Rescue Squadrons were deployed in the Arctic, Baltic, North Sea, Bay of Biscay, Mediterranean, and the Black Sea. They were also used as transports, notably for keeping contact with German troops left behind on islands like Crete, and for supporting the Kuban bridgehead in 1943. The Seenotdienst was at first operated as a civilian service run by the military and later was brought formally into the German Air Force. Throughout their existence, the group solved a number of organizational and operational challenges to create an effective rescue force. When British and American air leaders observed the German successes, they modeled their own rescue forces after the Seenotdienst. As the war progressed, local units of the Seenotdienst were disbanded. The last active group served in the Baltic Sea until March of 1945. Two of the German live buoys were removed from their position for examination by the British. Later in the war, Britain developed a similar system but on a smaller scale, but using boats converted to live buoys. One of these is still preserved in the Scottish Maritime Museum. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you want to support my channel, check out the PayPal donation link in the description or consider becoming a member. To make sure you don't miss my future work, subscribe to my channel please and press the bell notification button. Thank you and see you in the next video.